Look at that. What a wonderfully beautiful day. Shame it's a Jeffin freezing though. Now, one car we haven't talked about for quite a while here at CM''SRW is Alfie. And today we're going to be talking about Alfie a bit more than usual. Alfie is, of course, my very, very nice Rover 45. A car that was kind of a keeper, but also a for saler. And I never really entirely made my mind up. But I always enjoy driving it. For a while now, Alfie here has been second in command to Nigel. And there is no intentions of that ever really changing. Until this happened. Yeah. And look, for anyone who knows, that's where the hat's gone. But you see, there's a problem with Alfie. Allow me to explain. The first is the gunky stuff in the header tank. Because of that, the previous owner assumed that the head gasket was on its way out. And I thought, well, I'll take a chance, and driven it 4,000 miles, and it's still gunky. It's not really going to go away. But anybody else that looks at that is going to say, oh, head gasket's gone, cost a lot of money. These K-series, they're a terrible nightmare, you know. Did you know that? Did you know? So I could fix this by taking that expansion bottle off and cleaning it. I've never done that before. Well, I have with another one, but I haven't done it with this one, so maybe I should do that. The other small issue is the clutch rides slightly high. Now, I've known 45s, they always seem to be a little bit high, unless it's just every time I've got in one it's at a high clutch. But again, that's not really bothered me, because as a car that you would buy to cherish and look after, either you get the clutch done, or in 20,000 miles when it does finally wear out, it's another 10 years older anyway. And the absolute fact is, I'm not going to sell this car to somebody who just wants a car. Do you know why? Well, simply, this is just such a lovely old motor. It really is a very, very lovely old motor. And although I love my R8 kind of even more, at the moment this one is certainly in nicer condition. A lot nicer, actually. And this makes me a bit of a stubborn old goat, because this is about as early a Rover 45 as you can get. It may not be the top spec, but it's a fantastic colour, and it is wonderfully comfortable and bone dry inside. As many of you may well know, I love saving these cars. It doesn't really do me any favours financially, and so the idea of it just being sold to somebody that then doesn't end up looking after it, and I find out that it's been wrecked or what have you, really kind of gets under my skin somewhat. It really is more than just a car. So that gives me a wrinkle of a conundrum. Just like Brett Anderson, the 420 GSI, I'm a little bit fearful of leaving it outside the house. I know what it's like to have a car stolen, and a car that you really don't want stolen. Believe it or not, I think some people do want their cars stealing, but I don't. Means that it makes it impractical. It seems that I have to have two cars. I could have one. Either it would be one that is just a car, or one that's just a car and one that I really want. And the one that I really want, I don't want to leave outside the house. I want to have it stored away somewhere safe. So Eric, the diesel over there, perfectly good for everyday use. Nigel is started off as a very unprecious car, but then it became something else. It changed, and sort of I liked it because it was so unprecious, but it's become precious because of exactly that, and you know all that anyway. The Tourer here is a keeper. It just has to be. I can't not have this car. I have to have it, and you know all that as well. So then we come back down to the other car, Alfie. And unfortunately, Alfie loses. Or does it? Nigel is equally priceless and completely worthless as well. This is different. This car is easily worth a decent amount. So that means that that decent amount of money would come in handy, as you would gather. Of course you would gather. But, however, my good friend Boaty, who you may be familiar with, suggested to me last night another option, which is just keep it. Just store it. Just keep hold of it. Because things will change. You never know what's around the corner. You know, 5 years from now, I might be loaded. Or in a wheelchair. I don't know. It's very difficult to tell. One thing is for sure, these cars will continue to rapidly disappear off the roads until there are none left. And this will end up being the only one of its kind. Not the only Rover 45 or the only booted 45, but possibly the only midnight blue booted 45. And that does present me with somewhat of a another pickle. This time it's lime pickle. Do I just keep it? I could keep it in here, except that obviously I want to put the 420 in here. I could just keep it out there. It'll be perfectly okay. It's safer here than it is at home, obviously, because I don't have a garage. And then there is another option, one that I've never mentioned before, and this option has been offered to me by a very, very good friend who I'm seeing on Sunday, and that is that he could store it because he's got a nice big dry lockup, and he's offered to store a car should I need it, or just actually properly sell it. When I first picked this car up, it wasn't my intention to keep it as long as I have done. I didn't know what I was doing with it. I just saw it. I thought, yep, I'll have that. That's a bargain. I want it. And I had it, and 15 months later, it's still here. And it's not had a great deal of use, come to think of it, considering right, sorry about that, but it appears that the rest of the video that I've made there didn't get made. I was going to say I lost it, but I haven't lost it because I didn't even make it. But I don't understand why I didn't make it. I just stopped recording that particular thing. So the conclusion hasn't happened, has it? But the conclusion is this. Either I'm going to put this car away somewhere, or somebody comes along and says, I'll have that car, I'm going to look after it, here's a big wad of money. There we go. That's it. End. Welcome to the end of the video. This is the end of the video. There is no more video of any consequence whatsoever. In fact, the only thing left is going to be just looking at these fishes. Lovely little fishes, aren't they? They're having a great time swimming away in there. However, it isn't relevant in the slightest bit to the rest of the video. So there's simply no point in you hanging on, watching the video, just in case something's going to happen, because it really isn't. Nothing else is going to happen. That's the end of the video. That is simply the end of the video, and there is nothing else about to happen. And these fishes swimming around like this is completely nothing to do with it, as I've just said, and you may as well just switch the video off right now. Honestly. Go and watch something else. Thank you. Bye-bye.